Alright, on this video tutorial I want to show you briefly how to go about doing some research for your exegesis paper. So go to your web browser here. You see I'm in here, and I'm going to go to Acadia's library site. And so what that is library.acadiau.ca. And we'll enter there. Okay, so here you are, and what you want to do first off is go to the Find menu. Alright, so let's click. I'm going to actually open this in a different tab because we're going to come back to the Vaughan Library menu after. So let's open that in a different tab. And from here you'll see we have various choices, and we're going to choose the A to Z list of databases, which is the one right here. Alright, so let's choose that, and what we want to do now is we're going to go to what is called ATLAS, or ATLAS. You'll see it's right here. ATLAS Religious Database with Atlas Serials. This is the main index for biblical studies and theological studies. And so you're going to find lots of stuff here. What you and I are going to do in the rest of this tutorial is pretend that we're writing a book, or sorry, writing an exegesis paper on the Transfiguration in the Gospel of Mark. Okay? So we're going to pause right there before we go into ATLAS to show you a few of the books that you would want to turn to at the beginning. And these are ones that you'll have seen hopefully on the guide to writing your exegesis paper on your online course. And so here's a few examples. Obviously the IVP dictionary, that's the one that's actually required for the course. So if I were to begin writing this exegesis paper and I wanted to focus on the Transfiguration in the Gospel of Mark, I would go to this book and open it up to Transfiguration. From there I would read about it, get a good grasp on what scholarship says about that, and then I would take a look at its bibliography, because every single dictionary article in there has a good bibliography for you to start with. Now I use this dictionary in a computer format, and so I have the text of it right here. So we're at the conclusion here. I'm just going to scroll down. So you see at the bottom of every dictionary article we have a bibliography right here. Okay, so already just by opening up one dictionary and the one that's required for this course, you have a whole range of articles and books on the Transfiguration. And from here I might want to focus, for instance, this one here by M.D. Hooker, What Dost Thou Hear, Elijah? A Look at St. Mark's Account of the Transfiguration. So we see that that essay there is focused specifically on Mark's account. So I can go through this bibliography here and find a few that are specifically looking at Mark's account. Now from there we can look at a few other dictionary articles. For instance, in addition to your IVP dictionary, you can go to the Anchor Bible Dictionary, which is another good dictionary that you'll find in your local library, university library, or if you can make the trip down to Acadia. And then finally, what you want to do to gather some more bibliography from books is go to a commentary. Now this is the Word Biblical Commentary. This is the box cover for the Word Biblical Commentary on CD-ROM for Logos Bible software. Word Biblical Commentary, again, available in the Acadia University Library and most other academic university libraries. So for me here, writing on Mark, the Transfiguration, I'd want to go to the volume on the Gospel of Mark in the Word Biblical Commentary, and I would look up that specific passage, and I would, again, just like we do with the dictionary article, go to the back after reading my account, obviously, and looking at the bibliography. And from there I'm going to find some articles and some books on the Gospel of Mark and its account of the Transfiguration. So by looking at least one commentary, with the Word Biblical one, and your IVP dictionary, and also the Anchor Bible Dictionary if you wish, you've already found a whole lot of resources to read about the Transfiguration in the Gospel of Mark, and to begin reading those and to understand what it's about and its background and what it means in context, so that you can start writing your exegesis paper. Now, let's say you need to find a few more resources. this is where now Atla comes in. So let's go back now to Atla, and we'll see right here, here's Atla. At this point, I just need to remind you that if you're off campus, you need to access Acadia through the VPN client, and that video tutorial is online, and you should have seen it already. If not, go back to the course site, and you'll see it there in the how to write an exegesis paper, and as well as the top, I have a link to the VPN tutorial. So assuming that you are hooked into the VPN and you're ready to go, we can enter Atla. So Atla again is the religious and theological literature database, and there's various things we can do. We can just search for keywords right now, so I can type in Jesus and transfiguration if I wanted to, but you can also search by scriptures, you see here. So let's go to Mark, and let's just do Mark 9 and see what it does here. So here we have Mark 9, 9, 1 to 10, 9, 1 to 13, 9, 1 to 8. Okay, so I'm going to check all of these off here, and we're going to hit search. And there we have a whole bunch of resources that it found, 14 total, all through here. Okay, so we can now, we see here, this is Acadia's crest here. Now this is something that recently came on Atla, and again, very helpful. And what it's going to do is actually going to tell you right away if Acadia University has the journal article in their library, if you're around here and can make it here. Okay, so what you can do for this one, for example, actually let's take the second one here. Okay, the crucifixion of Jesus as the fulfillment of Mark 9:1 by Michael F. Bird. Okay, so if I were to click on this here, it's going to take me to another page, and it's saying my article, this one, is available at Acadia. Okay, so that means that this article is at Acadia University's library. And so just like that, I've found an article and I know that it's in the library. You see here in Atla, we sometimes have articles that are hosted right there. So let's actually go to this one because it's an English one. That other one was German. So you see here it says PDF full text. So that full text is available for you right now. So if I were to click on this, it's going to open up the PDF right here. So here it is, and it's available for you to download and keep on your computer and read and do whatever you want with. Okay, so as quickly as that, you have an article on your computer that you can read and use for your research. Now, if you have a problem in that you're not close to Acadia, but maybe you're close to another university, what you can do in that case, what I would do for you here, let's take this one that we look for from Mike Bird, which is in a journal called Trinity Journal. So we're going to click on that, and you'll see here what's called the ISSN number. Okay, and what we do is you can highlight this and copy it, and then I would want you to go to something called WorldCat. Oh, sorry, worldcat.org. Obviously you don't need a boat. So here's WorldCat, and what we're going to do is search for articles, and let's go to the advanced search, and we'll type in right here, you see ISSN, which is what we just copied. So we're going to paste that in there, and we're going to hit search. What WorldCat does is it connects all of the world's libraries together so that you can see where articles or books are held throughout the world. So here's the Trinity Journal right here. So I'm going to click on this, and now at this point you see that I've already entered my location here through a postal code. Okay, so it knows that I'm at in Nova Scotia. You might want to stick something else in here. Okay, and when you do that, it's going to alert you to where that journal may be held nearby you. Okay, obviously an alternative too, if you want to, is just to go directly to the library that you want to look at. I don't know where you are. If you're somewhere else and you're near a university library, go to the university website, find their library, and you can search for the periodical title. So in this case, it was that one called Trinity Journal. Okay, so that's a way to find some journals near you. Now, going back to our list here, obviously we have a whole big long list here, and let's go down to the next page. Again, so we see here, we have various other ones here that are in PDF. Now let's look at this one here, New Testament Studies. Okay, so that's the journal article title, the periodical title. And again, we're going to click this Find It here. So it's going to tell us that our article is available at Acadia. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to Acadia that we had before, and I'm going to just look for that periodical title. You'll be surprised at how many journal articles are now available online. So you might find an article back over here on ATLA that says it's at Acadia, but when Acadia says it's here, it may mean either one, it's on a book stack, or two, we actually have a link to the electronic version of it for you. If that's the case, from wherever you're sitting, you can download that immediately. So for New Testament Studies, that periodical title that we just searched, you see here that we have right here, it is sitting on the shelf, but down here, you'll see we have resources for it online. Okay, this is actually a different journal periodical title. This is the one that we just searched. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to the online home of New Testament Studies, the periodical title. So we see here, it actually has a number of articles that are online. In this case, we can only go up to 1999. So from 1999 to the present, New Testament Studies is online and available for you to download, as long as you're hooked into your VPN client. Now in this case, we started way over back here, and New Testament Studies, the year was 1977. So in this case, we can't go to the online one, because remember what I said, it just started at 1999. But if I just go here just to show you an example, you see here the articles. And so if I were to go over here, you can see View Table, Save My Articles, Export the Titles, and here's the PDF right here. So if I wanted to download this particular article right now, all I'd have to do is click this PDF button, and I would be able to get that article immediately. Now obviously we weren't looking for this particular article, but this is an example of a periodical article that is online through Acadia. So you didn't physically have to go to a library to get this. And there's numerous amounts of journals that follow this, where you'll find them online. So you may find it on ATLA here. You may see that it's at Acadia, according to this button. If you click it and it says it is there. But from there, you should go back to the library and search it. If you remember, let's just do an example again. We see periodical title is something that we can search, or you can do it from the very first page that we were at. And again, what we searched for was New Testament Studies. And again, it's right here. Okay? So I would suggest when you find other articles in both your IVP dictionary, as well as maybe Anchor Bible, as well as possibly your commentaries, what you need to do then is go back to Vaughan here, the Vaughan Library at Acadia, search for the periodical title and see if you can find it, because you'll probably be able to collect quite a number of your articles, of your journal articles, online without having to even go set foot inside a library. And so once you've gathered all those materials together, and you have, 2 or 3 books, 2 or 3 commentaries, and 4 or 5 articles, then sit down and start reading through the section. So again, we were talking about the Transfiguration in Mark. And what I'm going to do from that point is I would read some articles, I would read my commentary sections, and perhaps I decide to focus on the fact that Moses visited Jesus on the Mountain of Transfiguration. And so then that might lead me to go and actually go back to Atla and want to search for more and focus in on Moses visiting him. So you do your research that way, do your reading, and then decide on what you want to focus on, what you think the passage means in context, and then you begin your writing process from there. And I hope this tutorial helped you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. If you can't figure out what you want to write on, like I said, just choose your favorite passage and do it on that. And if that still doesn't satisfy you, then you can email me and I can give you an idea on what to write your paper on.